We're live. It's about 6:30. Give it a minute and see if anybody pops in. We're a couple minutes late because it stormed all day, and then I took a nap.
What's new?
It stormed all day, and then I took a nap.
You don't take naps.
I needed a nap. I've been puny all week. Been puny for a couple weeks. So we'll give it a minute. On StreamYard, it normally takes another minute or two for people to pop in. I think because the notifications lag, because it has to go through two apps. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying it.
Okay.
But it normally takes a minute or two longer. And we also have Viva Fry live and a whole bunch of other people live. So, like, if I had to choose, I would choose other people to watch too. So, and the Salty Cracker just went live. That's great. So, we've got a lot of competition tonight, just to be two little bumpkins wanting to say hi to everybody. Are you that much taller? Is my chair just that much lower?
I don't know. Sorry.
I know, it makes you look weird.
I think what it is, you're normally in this and I'm in that.
And I'm just used to seeing myself up higher.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Probably what it is, yeah. Okay. That's
Nobody
probably what
wants
it
to
is.
talk.
Well, no, normally it takes a lot. Normally I'm already on a tangent and rip through one and starting another by the time people start rolling in on this app. So don't feel bad.
I ain't feeling bad.
It takes a few minutes for people to come in. Dave is actually home today. He's rested. He's had a horrible couple of work weeks. We wanted to pop on and say howdy because a lot of the newbies have never witnessed one of our couples chats, just heard people talk about it, or ask, how's Dave? Because apparently everybody thinks I'm going to murder him through the week and he's not going to show back up the next Sunday.
True.
So I guess it's proof. It's like Sunday has become proof of life. Like we may start calling this proof of life chat from now on, so that y'all have proof of life that David is still alive. We wanted to come on and say howdy. He has just been working his honey off, and even so much that one of my bonus kids came over and helped mow the yard this week. Thank goodness for bonus children. My children are grown adults, and my son works as many hours as he does, and then my daughter is in a whole different state. So one of my bonus children that lives super close came over and helped me mow the yard this week. And I wasn't feeling very well, so he mowed it pretty much on his own. And we've just had one of those, and it was just hot and dry, and it was just a nasty week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just a nasty week. So we finally have gotten squared away, and it finally rained here. It rained a little bit yesterday, and then it stormed literally all day here today. So I know normally some of y'all are used to us popping on a little bit later, so this will be here to watch when y'all jump in later. I know some of y'all are also in the East Tennessee, North Carolina area, and there's a lot of storms moving through right now. So sorry we sent them your way. I know that y'all probably aren't able to watch. And then I think we've got a couple that are out of pocket traveling this week on vacation. So we're just going to do a really quick live, and it'll be here for y'all to comment to and post questions to later if you want to. But for anybody that has not caught a couple's chat, this is my husband David. We've been married almost 20 years, I had to think. Almost 20 years. And he is the trapper tanner that does all of the pelts that you see behind me on the wall and all the pelts that are in the videos and the man talking in the videos that you never see in the fur shed. That's him. So this is my husband. He likes to trap and tan mostly during the winter months, and then he traps during the winter months and he tans during the spring and summer, and it just keeps him working year round. Plus he has a full-time job and other stuff going on, and he does the sales and the vendor markets with the crafts that he makes and the furs and the pelts that he makes, and then the extra piddly stuff that I do for my hands and to keep my fine motor skills up, the crafts that I like to piddle on and make. Every once in a while he'll steal some and sell them, and it's my way to get money out there to get more crafting material so I can keep crafting. So for everybody that's new, thanks to Ryan blasting the channel this week, this is my husband Dave. So when you hear the big burly voice, you look plumb hateful on that.
I always look that way.
Can you smile a little bit? No. So for everybody that is just now noticing my videos on my channel, if you hear a big burly man's voice and you don't see the man, it's going to be this one. So introductions are now out of the way. I guess everybody now has met you. He is, he used to log and cut firewood and do ginseng and do a bunch of stuff like that. And he's gotten domesticated in his older age, so he works in a factory now. You're a CNC operator?
Yeah.
He's a CNC operator, and he works super long hours, but he's still country boy, so he has to get out and do something. He has to do something country on his time off, so that's why he stays in the woods on his time off or stays outside. Today's been miserable for him because it stormed on him. He's been stuck inside.
I worked in the shop about 3 hours.
Oh yeah, he worked in the first shop for a while.
Got to go back out and do a couple more things later.
So he keeps the tanning process going all spring and summer, and then this winter y'all will see him jump back out into the fir woods. And I am beginning to wonder if StreamYard is having an issue, but that's okay. We'll post it and y'all can watch it later. That'll be fine.
Seen a couple.
Yeah, I think if people are just grazing through, I don't know if StreamYard's having an issue or what. But I also know we are competing with a lot of streams that I would choose to watch too, so I can't blame you. Yeah, I'd rather watch two hillbillies. So this is basically an introduction so that y'all meet the other half of the crew, the person I talk about all the time. And then I wanted to show a couple of items that I'm working on. Y'all know that I've been working with the medicine sticks rather than the talking sticks. So I've been painting these beaver chew logs, and this one I painted spiral. Actually, one of my bonus children painted it spiral. Jonah did that. Isn't that pretty? He painted it spiral, and I'm going to put the red and black on the skull. But I'm actually going to use this big cow jawbone, and it fits. I had it the other day. It fits right in. It fits right in where it's going to be leather laced, and it's going to almost look like a hatchet. It's going to be a big mamba jamba. It's going to be heavy. We'll probably try to do local sell before we list it on Etsy. But it's going to be pretty when I get done with it, but it is in its rawest form as of right now, as you can see. And then I've got this really tiny one that I'm actually, I don't know if I'm going to put a fox jaw on or a beaver jaw. I haven't made my mind up yet. I've got a plain one here that I've just been toying with, trying to see what fits, what works, what looks right. And then I've got this big mamba jamba that I don't know what will end up going on this. I may end up doing a giant Cody pom-pom and feathers and not doing, because it's so heavy, if you add a skull to it, it'll be so much heavier. So I may end up just doing a giant Cody pom-pom. One of the things that I have asked for a coyote hide to try to make is a hood. I've got someone that wants a coyote hood, and I'm going to have to piece it and leather strip it. They want it to look rustic, but still pretty. But they want it to drape over so that they can affix it to stuff under the drape. I've never attempted anything like this. They don't want it sewed, they want it laced. So I'm going to be attempting that over the next few weeks as long as my fingers hold up. Because y'all know when I lace leather, those are trying weeks because that's some rough stuff. Because between punching of the holes, digging through the fur, and working the leather and tying the leather, it's a pain in the butt. So that'll be a busy week for me. But I also have like a 2.5 foot diameter dream catcher that I'm fixing to weave. I wanted to weave this week, but I was too sick. And I couldn't stand and bend and do everything I needed to do to weave it. I'm feeling better, so I think this week I will be able to. So that's the craft that's on my list this week as well. So that's kind of what's going in my world. Are you working on anything specific?
Nah, just normal stuff.
And when are you getting all your beaver pelts back?
That'll be November.
Okay. How many are you expecting?
12.
So we've got a dozen beaver pelts that he sent off to be professionally tanned.
10 raccoons.
And 10 raccoons. And it's so that we can
hopefully make some stuff out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make some bags, like some purses.
I'm going to be sending another bunch off probably around August.
Okay.
So it'll be next year before I get those back. But we'll see what happens with that.
We made an executive decision this year for all of the beaver hides. Hi, Mama Rocks. We made an executive decision this year for all of the beaver hides, well, most of them, to go to a professional tannery because they take the longest and they take the most time. And unless you're doing beaver hoops, they have to be so thin and pliable. So we made a decision to send those off. And I think it's going to pay out once we get them back and can turn them into stuff. So looking forward to getting those back.
I'll probably still do some smaller ones that are not as bad as the big ones, but
yeah,
I'll be doing some small ones. So I'm still learning this tanning thing, how to do the.
Yeah.
I may never get it all learned, but I'm still learning.
Well, and there's so many different types of tanning. So you've got buckskin tanning, you've got decorative tanning, you've got the pickling, you've got the brainwash. There's a lot of different ways to tan and for a lot of different end results. But when you just normally make a beaver hoop, it just needs to be tanned enough to hold its shape in the beaver hoop.
Yeah, you have to tan it, let it dry in a hoop form.
But when you want to make pretty like purses or bags or even clothing items, you have to have them professionally so thin. So that's why we decided this year. I think we kind of knew your work hours were going to get really bad. We had an inkling, so we decided we were going to send those off, and we did. So this week for me is finishing these talking sticks and medicine sticks and that huge dream catcher. The huge dream catcher will probably become a video, probably a time lapse video, because it is literally like 2.5 feet in diameter. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Bigger than that.
Was it bigger than that? So I'm being kind.
Yeah, it's probably around 36 inches.
Oh, it's about 3 foot in diameter then. And it's going to be huge. It is going to go down. It's going to be simply a decor item. And it's going to go down to a Western trail riding place so that they can do a commission sale for Dave. So he bent the saplings and got it into shape for me. And all I've done so far is leather wrap the sides where I'm fixing to start. So I will be doing the entire weaving and everything this week. That will take a lot of time, but I will try to take what I can and make a little follow along video so that you can see how much goes into weaving one dream catcher, let alone a huge dream catcher. And then I had a lady email and ask for a dream catcher as well, so I'll have a smaller one to make this week as well, a normal sized one. So if I feel good, I've got a lot to do. The last 2 weeks have been a struggle for me, and I'm not lying. Like I'm nice and perky when I come on here, but that's been the bulk of my energy is saying hi to y'all because I've pretty much been so sick. I've been in bed the rest of the time, and he can vouch for that. But I feel much better today. Yesterday I started feeling better. Today I feel much better. So the last 3 days have been solid improvement, and I'm going to check in with my doctor tomorrow and let him know I'm alive. But I just had a really rough couple weeks, like I hadn't had in a while. So I'm glad to be feeling better and getting back on track and doing a little bit more. I'm wearing my Howdy tooth earrings today. And if you would like to support this fella over the next few days or a couple weeks, actually a few weeks, we're going to be posting more and more Howdy pelts as they sell. You look plumb grumpy.
I'm just listening to you talk.
Just listening to you. You look plumb grumpy.
I'm grumpy. I'm just listening.
No, he's actually, I'm the mean one. He's the nice one. But over the next few weeks, we're going to be listing more Howdy pelts, and they're going to be early season or late season pelts, so they're not as dense, but they still have the pretty colors and stuff. They're just not as dense of like a winter fur. They're going to be slightly cheaper. So if you would like a coyote pelt that he trapped the coyote, skin, flesh, tan, everything, all by himself, then there will be some that will be not a big huge winter pelt, but there will be pelts on sale a little bit cheaper on the Etsy store, and the Etsy store is Hillbilly Heart Decor. And if you want to follow him on Facebook, it's Hillbilly Furs. You look like you're fixing to go to sleep, and you're just gonna be.
No, I'm just listening.
Smack the pea water out of somebody.
Put people to sleep talking.
I do that a lot. People say I put people to sleep when I talk. Do I?
No, I'm just sitting here listening. You're fine.
That big goatee don't help. It makes you look mean.
I'm sorry.
I have silver things to go in it. Everybody votes, and we'll check in tomorrow if he should let me put those little silver beads in his goatee. That's pretty much going to be our week. You're going to be getting some more coyote pelts listed. What else do you have left? We've got a few coyote tails.
There's all kinds of stuff that can be listed.
Um,
Um, I'm not real sure what I'll get.
we try to sprinkle it through the year because we never know when we're going to have a boom.
I've got to. I'm supposed to be getting my. I've took a little bit of vacation time towards the end of the week, so I should have about 4 days off around the 4th. And uh, I'm gonna live in the fur shop, put my bed in there, and work, sleep, work, sleep,
No,
work.
he's not.
Uh, but I'm gonna stay out there probably about 4 days. I've got some skulls I'm fixing to do. I've got some bobcat skulls I'm fixing to do. I've got some fox skulls I'm fixing to do. I got some stuff that I'm gonna finish that I've got processed in the tan. I'm gonna get it finished up. Work on some more stuff to tan here in a few days. So I got plenty to do. Uh,
As long as my health holds, then while he's home over the 4th of July weekend, I will try to do some video. It's bothering me. I will try to do some video of him in the first shed and what he's doing.
yeah, we'll try to get some videos of me breaking fur down, stretching it, so you don't get an idea about that.
You just can understand why he has. Show me your hands. Put your hands up. And I have big hands for a woman. He has size 14 ring fingers. Um, so we're expecting our first grandbaby in September. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he adopted my children. They're from my first marriage. I was married about 6 years, a little over 6 years the first marriage, and had 2 children with my first husband, who just hit sorry and kept going. But that's another story. Um, so he met me as a single mother, and I think he actually was Twitter pated with my children before he was Twitter pated with me. But he adopted my children almost 3 months after we were married. There was like an emergency adoption due to the circumstances. 4 months. So there was basically an emergency adoption, because my ex-husband was co-petitioning. He was like petitioning the state to say, "Hey, I terminate my rights and let this man have my children." So the state stepped in, and he adopted them after about 3 or 4 months of marriage. And so he's raised them. They're his kids. They have his last name. We got all the paperwork changed. But he missed the diaper stage. So he got them when they were 2.5 and 3.5. So he missed the little tiny babies with the diapers and the spit up and the neon poo that comes from God knows where.
No.
And so now he's going to get to experience that because we're expecting our first grandbaby in September, a little girl. And I'm going to see if he can actually change a diaper, because right now, if there's something in the house he has to repair that has like little tiny bolts or screws, it normally falls to me because he can't, with those big honking hands, he loses them. He just drops it. He can't articulate things really well. And I laugh at him a lot because I'll ask him to open the pickle jars, but then he'll ask me to like thread tiny little screws and stuff. And so I'm anxious to see how he manages to change a diaper with his giant hands.
Probably won't be.
No, I'm gonna make you change at least one because
No.
I want proof that you changed a diaper at least once in your life. Because I told him he got my kids at the best stage because they were potty trained and out of diapers, into training pants at night, and ready to play with. And you didn't have to get up at night and clean up the messes anymore. So
Nice.
I know I'm excited about this. So we're gonna see how he does changing diapers.
I won't be changing any.
Yeah, he will. He'll be changing at least one because I'm gonna document.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Can't make me do nothing.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
We were in the grocery store one day. He was fussing with me, and I was like, "We're fixing to have a domestic on aisle 8," and everybody chuckled all the way around us. It was hilarious. But yeah, I think you're gonna be smitten. I think when the baby gets here, I'm not gonna have to ask him to do anything. He's just gonna do it. So
No.
yeah, I think so. So that's what we're up to. That's kind of what's going on in our world right now. I'm actually trying to also MacGyver a hillbilly bird bath fountain for my mother for her birthday. Um, she wanted a bird fountain, but she wants one that has a pump that can spray so the birds can play in it. And I was like, Mom, those cost so much money. And she's like, well, I don't. Maybe your dad can, finagle something. Or Dad just looked at me and was like, And so I told him, I was like, I'll try to find a way to do it for her birthday. So I ordered it, and I got one in, but the other one's coming. I'm going to wait to make it till I see which one is going to be best for what I'm making her. And the other one's going to go in my pool. So I'm also going to be making a redneck bird bath fountain for my mother this week at some point. So that should be interesting. I'll also make a video of that. Um, but yeah, we've just kind of rested today. It's been a stormy day. The electricity went off a time or two. We had a lot of electrical lightning. I know that the NASCAR race in Nashville got put on a red flag because of the lightning, and everybody had to get off the stands. Had a really nasty front come through. So anybody in its way, I hope y'all are okay. Check in, leave us a comment, leave questions. If you want to follow him on Facebook, it's Hillbilly Furs. On Etsy, it's Hillbilly Heart Decor. And we normally do this every Sunday. We do kind of like a couples check in. So if it's going to be like a holiday weekend or something, we try to do it on a Saturday or something. Next weekend, since he's home around the 4th, it will just be a scattered batch of videos and check ins because he's going to be so busy. But if you have time next week, I also recommend you go on Facebook to the Smithville Fiddlers Jamboree page and watch the Jamboree live that they broadcast. You can watch, it's kind of like an Appalachia talent show. It's got major bragging rights for the area. It's got clogging, square dancing, butt dancing, and all the instruments you can think of, gospel singing, country singing. And then the very end on Saturday night, they have a fiddle off, and that's the champion fiddler for the year. So I'd recommend you go to the Smithville Fiddlers Jamboree page on Facebook and like their page and follow, and then watch some of the contest when they live stream it this weekend. It's going to be great. It's one of my favorite things to do every summer is watch that. Ever since I was a little girl, every 4th of July weekend has been the Fiddlers Jamboree. So this is kind of just something that has to happen in my world. So go check that out, and then we'll be in and out this week with videos and check-ins. And for everybody that always has wondered now when they say, "How's Dave?" This is Dave. This is Proof of Life Sunday. I've not killed him. I think people worry about him.
No.
Because when you don't come on, they're like, "Where's Dave?" And I'm like, "He's at work. He's always at work." So we're just going to continue with our Proof of Life Sundays, and you all can get to say howdy to him. Hi, Katrina. It's been a dry run this evening, but I know a lot of people are having storms roll through, and a lot of people are also watching the 5 gazillion other streamers who are live right now, and I understand that. But we just wanted to check in. So we dropped a little bit of a howdy and a get to know Dave. And if you want to backtrack and watch it, you're more than welcome to. I also told you the links to everything if you wanted to contact him for his fur page or to follow him on Etsy at Hillbilly Heart Decor. So give her a rewind and watch everything. I'm fixing to make us some dinner, peel some cucumbers, and do some laundry.
Sure.
Sadly. Sadly, I'm sure that's what I'm fixing to do.
Our next big event coming up will be the if anybody travels the 127, what they call the 127 quarter sale. I think it's the August the 4th, 5th, and 6th during the election this year. So we're planning on setting up that for about 3 days, maybe 4, but anyway 3. I'll probably get a location for sure here the next couple of weeks. I've got a couple picked out and got the permission to do it, so we'll be setting up in that, and business cards and stuff like that if anybody
and he will be close to the headquarters.
Yeah, so the headquarters will be in Jamestown, Tennessee, so I'll be about 2 miles south of that on the main route there, probably on the 4-lane, or where the 4-lane ends in that area. So,
when we find the exact location of the vendor shop that he's going to be able to set up at, we'll send that along. So if anybody does go through the headquarters area of the 127 corridor sale, you can find Dave and say howdy and check out.
Should have my hats in then, hopefully, that you ordered.
Yeah, I'm hoping they come in.
I'll be wearing a Hillbilly Furs hat, so
I've got him a couple of hats so he can billboard with his giant forehead. Yeah. That was so nice of me to say that.
Okay, whatever.
It just came out that way. Well, you do have a big head. They just look a big. It's a lot of ad space. I'm just saying. I mean, if we want to talk about a lot of ad space, we need to get me some of them breeches with something across the butt.
Fluorescent?
Yeah, we can do fluorescent colors. I don't care. I'm old enough. I don't care.
Black letters. That'll work. That way.
I'm telling you, it's ad space, y'all.
I have an accident in front of the stand, but anyway.
Oh, I doubt that. Although every time I go live on YouTube, somebody calls me a voluptuous, curvy, gorgeous woman, and I just question their logic and mental health every time they do that. But that's sweet of them. I try to take it as a compliment, even though it's kind of creepy. But we'll be back next weekend with another Proof of Life check-in. Maybe one of these days you won't make it.
Might not.
You'll have to stay tuned as the world turns. I'm gonna go make our dinner and do laundry. Bye, guys. Say bye, Dave.
Bye.
You're supposed to say bye, Dave.